How's it going, guys? This is Season 4 of my NHL 17 Florida Panthers Franchise Mode Series, and in the last episode I asked you guys if we should relocate or not, and I had a poll, and 79% of you guys said we should, but the thing is, I'm going to show you guys the owner's happiness right here. He's very happy, he has amazing happiness, as well as his willingness to move there is only at some, and it's actually still a red bar, so the chance he says yes to this relocation is very slim, but we'll see if he does, because you guys asked for it. Relocation rejected, not willing to spend the kind of money that would be involved in moving this franchise, so I have to say no. So, as you can see, it's gone away. I don't know how often you can ask to relocate. I'm guessing probably once a season, so I guess we'll ask again next year. But I'll also show you guys my lines heading into this season. I think they're pretty good. I'm hoping for a good season. I think the team's probably better than it was last year. We got Huberdeau, Barkov, and now Skinner on the first line. Paid Skinner a lot of money, but hopefully it'll be worth it. Smith, Bukestad, Tatar on the second, Cogliano, Boyle, and Ranton on the third, with Kennedy, Maligan, and Nystradl on the fourth. Defense there, we have Jack Johnson, Aaron Ekblad, Polka, Reinhart, Matheson, and Fleury. And then in goal there, we have Fucali with Domingue. Also, guys, AHL teams looking very solid. Right here's Nolan Patrick, still in the AHL. Some people say I should call him up to the NHL, but as you can see here, his role's at depth forward. He'll get more playing time in the AHL, so I hope that, turns him into a better player. Vegetamo there's at 82. We got Rouet, Marchesu, McCann, Benson, Lear, Howerluck, Masherin, McFarland, Dube, and Mistel. So pretty solid forward group there. On defense here, we got Jake Bean still. He'll hopefully make the NHL in a couple years. Niku, Cedarholm, Mikola, Shirokov, and then Aklas. And then in goal in the AHL, we have Hershavina, 78, which is pretty solid, with a 74 backup there in Carletto. So hoping for two good seasons here from both teams, and we'll see how the sim goes. So like the last few years, one of our owner goals was to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in our first meeting, and we actually did that, so we get an extra 15K bonus, which is pretty good to see. And as you can see here, we're actually almost at the end of October, first month. Depending on how these two games go, we could have a really good start to the season. Looks like we lost to Buffalo, which isn't good, but 5-3-1. Isn't too bad for the first month. Colorado just put this Willem Westland guy on waivers. Figured I'd check him out. 24 years old, 79 overall, low TacTixHD. Picking him up for free, I figure why not. We're now at the end of November with a record of 12-9-2, which isn't too bad. I was hoping for a bit better than that. It's actually good enough for third place in the Atlantic, though, so a playoff spot. We're now at the end of December here, and we were doing pretty good until we went on a horrible losing streak. Right here, December 11th is where it started, and it didn't end until December 24th. Lost 7 straight games, which is absolutely terrible, but luckily still at 500 here with a record of 19, 19, and 2. So hopefully January we can bounce back. I think we have at least a couple injuries. Still in a wild card spot, surprisingly. I will check injury report here. I think I've seen Rantanen's injured. I'm not sure if anyone else is. Jeff Skinner apparently is injured for 2 more days, so Rantanen's back. So maybe we just had like a bunch of like minor injuries throughout the month, and that's kind of what led to that losing streak. But either way, hopefully we can bounce back and get a better spot in the playoffs. Also, guys, since we're at the 40-game mark, it's basically the midway point of the season, so I figured I would show you all of our scoring leaders up to this point. Looks like Aaron Ekblad's actually leading our team with scoring, so not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Defenseman's leading scorer, but he's got 38 points in 40 games, almost a point per game, so that's really good to see. I think his potential might have gone up to its high elite. I feel like it was medium elite before. I might be wrong on that, though. Barkov there, 34. Skinner's got 30. So not too bad. Expect a bit more from a 90 overall, but still alright. Huberdeau there, 28. Rantanen, 26. He's proving to be pretty good. Still only an 82 overall, so maybe he gets a boost after this season. Bukestad there, 22. Cogliano, 22. Tatar there, 18. He definitely has to step it up. Play on the second line, 87 overall. Boyle, 16. Maligan, 16. Johnson, 15. Kind of just the depth guys there in the defense, so nothing too crazy. Nolan Patrick actually got called up for 4 games there. I think somebody got injured. The assistant coach did that. Fucali here, not having the greatest this season. 3.15 goals against. Save percentage there is below 9, so that's pretty rough. We'll take a look at the AHL team as well. Guess we'll start off with the goalies here. Both of them have pretty good goals against and pretty similar save percentages, so I like to see that. Take a look at the scoring leaders as well in the AHL. So Tyler Benson here, point per game. Rouet, 27. McCann, 25. He's now at 82, so maybe he's ready to make the NHL again. Vegetamo, 24. He's an 83 overall, so he's probably also almost there. Same with Howerluck, 21 points. Masherin, 16. Rest of these guys just kind of chipping in. Let's see. Patrick, in 20 AHL games, 14 points. You can see he's actually an 81 now. That's because he got sent down from the NHL to AHL, so he dropped his overall. It should go right back up as soon as he plays like a couple games. rest of these guys here just pitching in. So see how the second half of the season goes. So far, not too bad. We're at the All-Star break now here in January. We have a record of 26, 21, and 4. So actually starting to play a bit better. See where you are at the standings here. 56 points, second place. That's not too bad at all. We'll take a look too and see which of our players made the All-Star game, as well if anyone kind of crazy made the All-Star game. So let's see here. We got Patrick Kane looking for a Florida guy. Connor McDavid will be out for 2 weeks. That's pretty big. Aaron Ekblad, that kind of makes sense. Leading the team in scoring as a defenseman, making the All-Star game. So there we go. But a month now till the trade deadline. Probably going to make a couple small moves. I think we have a bit of cap left. And if it helps us, kind of get a higher spot in these playoffs, get an easier first team in round 1, then we'll definitely do that. So we're in the middle of February right now, and I just got this trade offer from the Penguins for our first round pick in exchange for Derek Pouliot and a second round pick. So I'm going to take a look at Pouliot's overall, decide if this is worth it or not. I'm thinking it's probably not. I feel like I could get a lot more for a first round pick. He is 85 overall, but he's 26 after this year. Doesn't grow anymore. $3.4 million for the next 3 years. Not too bad, but let's see if we can get him for less than a first, and we don't really need their second. So here's my counter offer for Pouliot. I'm offering them Holzer. He's a prospect with backup goalie potential. Smart here, prospect with AHL top 2D. Tarasov's a prospect with 7D potential, signed for the next 3 years. Isn't that great? And Detroit's third round pick in this year's draft, of course, we got for Matt Murray, leaving on RFA. We got their first, second, and third, which is pretty huge. So if they take this deal, I think that's a pretty big steal here on Pouliot. If they say no, though, I think I'll just let it go. Don't really want to give up any more than this for him. So here you go. Trade rejected. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. So we're at the trade deadline. As you guys can see there, the trade deadline is March 1st. Really good record now, 36, 23, and 4. So don't want to, change up the team too much. I think I was actually going to make some more substantial trades if we didn't have this good of a record. Probably just going to try and make up some small deals to improve our team and then hope for the best in the playoffs. Right here, guys, I'm trying to make a massive trade with the New York Rangers, trying to get both Joe Pavelski and Dan Girardi. Both are solid players. They're both 86 overall. Pavelski could either be a top 6 or a top 9 forward for us. Girardi, probably a top 4D right now with Griffin Reinhart injured. They want to trade both of them. I have some salary retained on both, as otherwise we'd be over the salary cap. Giving them our first round pick in this year's draft, which is a lot to give up, but I think it'll definitely help us win the Stanley Cup, and if we do, then it was worth it. Holzer here, prospect goalie. Matheson, he's our 6th best defenseman, and right now, because of Reinhardt's out, Jake Bean's actually playing in the NHL, and he's the same overall, so I figured Matheson's sort of expendable, especially with Girardi coming back, and we have some pretty decent AHLD. And also in regards to the first round pick, even though it's a lot to give up, because of the Matt Murray signing by Detroit, we have their first, second, and third. And as you can see there, Detroit's first is worth so much. They're still a rebuilding team. So if they get last place this year, which would be crazy, that first could potentially win the lottery, get first overall pick, and then that second would be 1 pick less than our first if we were to win the Stanley Cup. So this trade could work out really well. If we can win the Stanley Cup and Detroit gets last, that would be best case scenario. So we'll see if New York says yes to this. They want to trade both their pieces. They want all 3 of ours. The value's on our side. It's not that much salary being retained. So here we go. We'd have to move down Patrick, Bean, and Kennedy. Call up Vegemite Westland. Kennedy's on waivers. It's worth it. He's an 81. So that means they accepted the deal, so that's huge. So after that trade, guys, here's a look at the lineup. First line is still the same with the second line. Third line here, we have Cogliano, Malgin, and now Pavelski. Also, Cogliano's an 85 now, so he's playing really well. Fourth line here, we have Vegetamo, Boyle, and Nystrad, so that's looking solid as well. Defense here, Johnson, Ekblad, Girardi, Polka, Fleury, and then Westland got called up. And goalies, obviously, they're still the same there. Fucali and Domingue. Domingue's an 82 now. And scratch players, you can see we have Reinhart and Rantanen. So when Reinhart comes back, obviously that 79 will be scratched, so the defense is going to be very good. And then Rantanen will probably sub in for Nystrad. So should have a lot of depth here going into the playoffs. Don't think I'm going to bother making any other trades. That was a big one, and hopefully it's enough. So I just finished teaming through the rest of the season. We actually had a pretty good run there in March. April wasn't the greatest, 3 losses, 1 win, but we still did finish the record of 44, 31, and 7. So don't think we got first in the Atlantic, but probably second or third, not too bad still. 95 points, we're in the playoffs. Take a look at where that puts us in the rest of the league as well. We'll take a look at the leading scorers. Looks like Ekblad there led the team with 78 points, which is pretty solid. Again, pretty surprising defenseman there, our leading scorer. We finished 9th too in the entire league, which is pretty good as well. So hopefully, we can get some players healthy and really make a run at the Stanley Cup here. Take a look at everyone's performance throughout the year. Barkov there, the second leading scorer with 68 points. Skinner, 67. With the big deal I gave him, wanted a bit more than that, but still, that's pretty solid. Huberdeau, 64. Pavelski, 63. Now an 84 overall. He was an 86 when we got him. Went down to an 85 because of, like, having, being scared on the new team or whatever. Hopefully he can bounce back up. Bukestad 49, Tatar 48, Smith 39, Cogliano 38, Rantanen 38. So, I mean, pretty good, like, scoring here from, like, most of the team pitching in and whatnot. Girardi here is still an 85, so he didn't drop too like Pavelski did, thankfully. But we'll take a look at the goalie. We'll see if Fucale got any better. Hopefully he did. 2.78, so yeah, it looks a bit better. Not over 3 now. 0.908, so yeah, Fucale did start playing a bit better. Take a look at the AHL team here as well. Their goalies playing pretty solid. This goalie here, 2 goals against, 0.926, 75 overall. He's just crushing it right now. Take a look at the skaters as well. I think they have a few games left, but this should give us an idea of who's playing well. McCann here, 54 points, 72 games. Howard Luck, 53. Rouet, 47. Benson, 44. Marchesu, 40. Nolan Patrick, 40 in only 61 games. 83 overall now, that's good. Maybe by, next year he'll actually be on the NHL team. Vegetamo there, 39. He dropped to a 77. I think that's because he scratched the NHL. They probably scratched him over Nystraddle to sub in Rantanen. I might change that. I think I'd rather have Nystraddle subbed, but anyways, AHL team there, looking pretty good as well. So in the playoff simulation, guys, accidentally simmed the first game against the Bruins here and lost 3-0. Hopefully we can come back in this one. Never like losing that first game, so we'll sim this next game period by period. AHL playoffs, I think, are about to start, or maybe like going to start in one day. So first period here, Jack Johnson with a goal. Second period, Pasternak gets a couple, so it's 2-1. Bukestad ties it up, going to OT. Ryan Spooner there, though, with the OT winner. So really don't want to have a first round exit after trading for both Girardi and Pavelski. That was a lot to give up for 2 rental players, but I thought it might help us win the cup. So hopefully it was worth it. Otherwise, we let go of a really good prospect. Only down by 2 though. It could be worse. So third game here, first one at home. Krejci scores there. Huberdeau ties it up, and Kokachev there at the game winner. So we need to come back from down 3-0. I don't know what the chances are of that, but you never know. So we'll see if we can get it done here. AHL playoffs look to have just started, so if we can't get it done, hopefully at least the AHL team can have a good season. Girardi gained some morale there, recovered from an injury, so here we go. Game 4. Please don't get swept. Skinner and Krejci each score. Kokachev, Smith, and Griffith. 3-2 are down. Barkov, Macmillan. Wow, so we just got swept in the first round. I can't believe that. I thought Pavelski and Girardi could push us over the top, but apparently not. Maybe, it was just a bad trade, I guess, because we got 2 rental players. Gave up a first, prospect, goalie with backup potential. That wasn't a really big deal. Neither was Matheson, but lost that first round pick for a chance at the cup, and we got swept. That's just sometimes how it happens, though. So our AHL team actually got matched up with the Bruins AHL team, and they got beat 3-1 in the first round of their playoffs, a best of 5. So they didn't get swept, but the Bruins organization beat both of our teams in the first round of this year, which definitely sucks. Hopefully Detroit got last, or if they didn't get last, they can win the lottery, and we get the first overall pick. That could make up for this early playoff exit. So the draft lottery results just came in, and Detroit got the second pick in the draft, which is huge. So now we're picking second overall. Hopefully we can turn that into an awesome player. And right here, guys, taking a look at the retired players. Brian Boyle retired. Neither Pavelski or Girardi retired, though. I was surprised to see that. I thought one of them might retire. I'm going to check the retired goalies this time. I forgot to do that the last few times. Might be interesting to see if there's any big-time goalies. So Ward, Emery, Gustafsson. No one crazy there. Take a look at all the retired skaters now. Probably going to be some big names. Yeah, we got Rick Nash retiring at 78 overall. Jeff Carter retiring as an 88. This guy could have still played probably. Vanek there, Hartnell, Jokinen, Duncan Keith. That's a big-time retirement too. Alexander Steen, Verbata, Semin, Hemsky, Brown. Wow, they lost Carter and Brown. Derek Roy, Bufflin, that's pretty big too. 35 years old, calling it quits. Brent Seabrook, Chicago's defense just got destroyed. Dennis Weidman, a 68, 37 years old. Molson, Komu. So Hamuse, Ott, some pretty big name players starting to retire here. So new wave of the NHL is definitely happening. And as you guys can see here, the Calgary Flames were actually the Stanley Cup winners. Surprised to see the Stanley Cup winners with the Calgary Flames. I wonder if Elliott was their goalie or who their goalie would have been. Take a look at the awards here. So Stanley Cup winners, of course, Calgary. President's Trophy, Anaheim. Clarence Campbell there, Calgary. Prince of Wales with the New York Islanders. It's also pretty surprising. Didn't expect either of those teams to be in the Stanley Cup final. Patty Kane here with Garrett Ross and the Hart. Ekblad with the James Norris, that's really good to see. Patty Kane with the Lady Bing. Barzal with the Calder, so he must have grown a lot with his overall. Sean Monahan there with the Conn Smythe. Vezina went to Laner. And the William M. Jennings also went to Laner. Zaboral there with the Bill Masterson. Getzlav with the Selkie again. Kane got the Ted Lindsay, so I think that's 4 awards for him. And the Maurice Richard, so 5 awards for Kane. That's crazy. AHL here, Providence won the Calder Cup. Let's see if our team got any team awards. I think he might have won our division. Or apparently not. That's alright. Let's see if we got any player awards. We had some pretty good guys this year. But maybe it wasn't quite good enough. So yeah, AHL team didn't quite get anything. But that's alright. I think we're going to have a really good draft here with that 2nd overall pick from Detroit. Hopefully we can find like a next franchise player. So here you guys look at the playoff tree. We got swept by Boston. Then Boston beat Montreal 4-3. The Islanders there swept the Capitals after beating Flyers in 7. Then they beat Boston in 5 before losing to the Flames in 5. And the Flames swept Coyotes there, beat Chicago in 7, and then beat the Blues there in 5. It'll be interesting to see what Chicago does. They made the playoffs, got beat there by the Flames in 7 games in the semifinal. Lost Keith and Seabrook, but have lots of money to spend now, so they're probably going to be big-time spenders in free agency. So we're at the draft now. We have the 2nd overall pick. I'm pretty pumped to use it here. First pick there is Connor. That's kind of funny by the Oilers. Picking 1st overall again. I didn't even notice that when I was looking at the lottery results. I was just concerned about Florida. Medium elite potential. So I'm hoping we get, at the very minimum, an elite potential player. Would love to find a franchise player. So obviously it's going to be one of the top 5 guys available. We got Wellwood there, Kumatov, Emanin, and Haynes. So 4 forwards. We got power forward, grinder, power forward, sniper. Our scouts say Haynes is the best, low top 9. So the other 3 are bottom 6, but they're obviously better than that. They're going to go top 5. So I guess we go with the Canadian that our scouts say is also the best one here. Please be at least elite potential. And there you go, medium elite sniper. Hopefully he can even become a great player than that. So I just wanted to show you guys the top 10 picks. Connor there, medium elite center. Haynes, the guy we drafted, medium elite sniper. Then you got Emanin, medium elite power forward. Wellwood's medium elite. Kumatov is a high top 9, so glad we didn't take him. Hunt, medium elite. He was not even projected top 5. Pasternak there, medium top 6. Mironov, medium elite goalie. That would have been interesting to take him. Fukali's still young, but I would love to have like a 90 plus goalie opposed to an 85. Medium top 4 there, then a medium top 6. So I think our pick was good. Obviously behind Huberdeau, Vanek's kind of getting old, so we could definitely use a winger. And right here in the 2nd round, we have a 4th overall pick. Top 6, top 4, top 6 got drafted, so some pretty good players available. I don't think I've picked in the 2nd round, honestly, this entire franchise mode series. I've traded away my 2nd round picks so often. Rita here is a right wing, top 9 forward potential according to our scouts. I could use a defenseman, but this guy's projected to be AHL top 2D by our scouts. Obviously, probably wrong, considering it's a 2nd round pick. I could go get this guy though instead. Exact top 6 forward. I would definitely rather for sure get a top 6 than risk it on one of those guys. So let's take the safe pick there. Medium top 6. I'm happy with that. 3rd round pick here. Again, this is Detroit's pick. 4th overall. Let's see what we can get. Top 9 forward exact according to our scouts. There's a goalie here with exact starter potential. Last name Quick. He could turn out to be really good. Maybe we could even trade for a 3rd pick and try to get him and maybe this Alexandrov Russian center. We have a lot of center depth actually, so rather than get another center, let's just take the goalie here. I'm fine with that. We need a solid goalie prospect, and he has a medium starter potential, so that's good. 4th round pick here, guys, is now our pick. Round 4, pick 20. Should be a pretty high pick, I think. Let's see what we got available here. Bottom 6 forwards. Let's go to exact. Let's see. The best thing here, actually, top 6D and a goalie. The top 6D is not projected to go till the 5th round. We're late in the 4th, though. Do we take another goalie and have 2 chances at a goalie, or do we take the D there? I think we take the goalie for now, and I might even try and trade for the next pick, honestly, and try to take that defenseman. Now we have 2 medium starter potential goalies. Hopefully one can be good. Let's try and trade for this Coyotes 4th round pick and also pick up that defenseman. So right here's the offer I'm making Arizona for their 4th round pick. Trading them this prospect here with AHL top 2D potential, which is usually what you get in the 5th round. Our 5th round picks are dropping back 30 spots, and then a 7th round pick next year. So hopefully it's enough of a package for their 4th round pick. Trade accepted. So like I was already saying with this 4th round pick, obviously we're going to go get that defenseman. I think that's a steal there, top 6D potential. Definitely moving up from the prospect we had. And I think that's honestly a really solid draft. We still have our 6th round pick, I believe. So if we could get like anything better than an AHL potential player in the 6th round, that's huge. So final pick of the draft here, like I was saying, as long as it's somebody better than AHL, which apparently we could get here with Elliott, bomb 6 forward exact. I don't mind that at all. There's actually a couple here. Elliott and Zakara. We already have so much center depth, though. I'd probably go Elliott. If I go this way, though, there's Neal here, bomb 6. A backup goalie we really don't need. So, yeah, we'll just take Elliott here. Hopefully he's at least a bomb 6. He is, so that's solid. I think I really had a good draft here. Obviously, only time will tell. So we're out the re-sign phase here. All of our centers are signed except for Vejdemo, who dropped a lot in overall because he was scratched. He wants $1.1 million for 2 years. I'd rather give him like a 1-year deal. He can't put him on a 2-way deal though, which kind of sucks. So I might just qualify him, and hopefully he'll take the qualifying offer, which will be a 2-way deal, obviously. And if anyone makes him an offer, I could potentially match it. Jesus, oh my God, this Haynes guy, we drafted 2nd overall in 2020, 88 overall off the bat. That is outrageous. I've never seen a player that high overall out of the draft, so I'm so glad I drafted this guy. I wonder what the other overalls of the other top picks were, but that's crazy. I'm actually gonna check right now. I wonder what the Edmonton's guy was. His name was Connor. I think he was a center. He's an 83 out of the draft, so I think we got the best player potentially. That's crazy. So our winger depth just went way up, especially how cheap he's gonna be is crazy. Tatar is still signed. Cogliano was a very solid 3rd-line right winger for us, or sorry, 3rd-line left winger. 3.5 for 3 years is pretty fair. Let's give him 3.3 for 3 years. I think he'll take that, save us a bit of money. Rantanen hasn't grown at all. Really disappointed with the trade. I thought he'd been a lot better than he is. He wants 1.5 for 2, so let's try and give him for like 1.3 for 2, and hopefully he can grow. If he doesn't grow in those 2 years, probably just going to cut my losses with him. Kudobin here, 22, 72 overall. Wants a 3-year deal. Let's give him like 775K. Strome, his contract's not up, but it sucks. He's the lowest overall on the left wing, so it's hard to give him the AHL with the assistant coach constantly like putting other guys in, but he should turn out to be a good player still. Don't think that trade's, bad or anything yet. Right wings here, Smith still signed $5 million for the next couple of years. Pavelski, I might take him back depending on how much he wants. $3.4 million, 1 year. Thing is, he's 85 overall, and that overall is probably just going to keep going down. So I don't know if I'm actually going to do that. Marchescu's an 82 now, so that's actually really solid for like a 4th-line guy. Definitely going to give him the 1-year deal he wants. Nystral's also 82, so he'd be a solid 3rd or 4th-line guy. 2 years, he wants $1 million. Let's see. Doesn't have any interest in a 2-way contract, but he's been playing in the AHL, I think, the whole last year. So let's try to get him for like 950K. Kennedy, 33.81 is just not worth keeping with Nystral and Marchescu above him. Raway, 25.79. He's pretty much done. I'm just going to release him, I think. Let some other AHL players play. Not have him clog them up. This guy looks like he could be actually a decent player. Low top 9-4 potential. These guys aren't worth giving a contract to yet. Defense here, Girardi, 36.85. What does he want? 4.3 for 2 years. That's not worth it. If you wanted like a 1-year deal at $2 million, I would have done that. Polka wants a new deal, $5 million for 3 years. That's really expensive. To get cheaper at all, if I go long term, doesn't get any cheaper. So let's try, I guess, it's an extra 100K for 4. So let's go 4 years. $4.5 million for 4 years. I think that's a pretty fair deal. We'll see if he says yes to that. Griffin Reinhardt's probably going to want like the exact same thing. 5.7 for 3K. So he's the same overall but wants more money. Let's try and get him 5.25 for 3. See if he says yes. Fleury's signed long term. Bean still has 1 more year as ELC. Nico here, he needs a new deal. He should turn out to be at least a low 80, I think. I'll definitely give him the deal he wants. Let's actually give him a 2-year deal too, because if he gets good, even a 3-year deal, if he could get to like give him exactly what he wants, but ask him for 3 years. If he can get to like a low 80 at 825K, that's huge. This guy here, 25.78 overall. He's pretty much done. Mikola, 24.77. Give him maybe 1 year. Maybe Westland here will give 1 year as well. Oh yeah, I picked him off waivers. Might as well give him one more shot there in the AHL. These guys aren't high enough overall yet to sign. Goalies here. Domingue needs a new deal. Could we find a better backup though? probably. So I'll release him for right now. Might end up re-signing him. Herchovino is a really solid AHL starter. He's 25 overall, or sorry, 25 years old. So he doesn't really have much more overall to gain. Might let him go and then see if we can find somebody better in free agency. If not, Carletto at 74 honestly is fine for the AHL team. These two guys need to be signed just as rookies. Not give them a lot. They're just like backup AHL goalies, but could honestly just be used in trades. Our two starter goalies we drafted, 67 and 61 overall, but still young. Hopefully one of them can turn into a really good goalie for us. And as you guys can see here, Cogliano accepted our offer. Same with Nystraddle. Reinhardt we actually gave like a lot less than he wanted, so I'm surprised he said yes. Marchesu, Haynes there, 88 overall. That's insane. Out of the draft, 88 overall. That's like the next Connor McDavid. Or I guess he's a left wing, so he's like the next Ovechkin, but he's Canadian. So actually, who would he be? High winger pick that's Canadian. I honestly don't even know. Maybe like the next Jamie Benn, except he didn't get picked in the 5th round. Let's see. Polka accepted our offer. Ranton accepted. Hopefully everybody accepted here. That would be amazing to see. No one rejected yet. So yeah, everyone accepted. So that's awesome. Obviously, we'll get to free agency next. Hopefully we can have a couple good signings. So we're at the free agency period now, guys. And as you can see there, Roman Josi is available. He would be a huge free agent to sign. He wants $8 million though. We only have 7.4, so maybe try and trade away some cap. Michael Stone's also available, 86 overall. Pretty big addition if we could get him. Tobias Ryder there. He's 85 though, wants 5.4. We're already paying Smith $5 million at an 85 overall, and I thought he's overpaid, so I definitely won't be doing that. Rackle there, 85. We already have so much center depth though. Passed on both Girardi and Pavelski. They're just too old. For Leak there, again, really expensive for an 85. Doesn't seem like a good value. Signing. Berglund might be though, 83 overall. Wants $3 million. So let's see if we can shed like a tiny bit of cap there and go after Josi. That would just be unreal if we could sign him. Also, what I'm gonna do this time is try and check for like those high potential free agent players. I forgot to do that last time. So Blunkfist here, 21, low top 9 forward. 3 teams interested. So yeah, we'll give this guy an offer. Let's give him the max deal here on a 2-way though. So he's in the AHL. It doesn't really matter. 24.76. He's pretty much done. 23.76. He's still got some time to go. This guy here though, 21.75 overall. That's really good. He's got a lot of time to get better. So give him an offer. See if he says yes. McNeil here, 20.66 overall. So he's got 6 years left. Low top 9 4 potential. I mean, I think we have enough roster spots. Might as well make this guy an offer. I'm also going to make an offer here on Stevens, 23.76 overall. Why not just get a free asset if you can? Obviously, it's just, a free addition to the team. Larson here is 23.76, medium top 6D. I feel like he could be a solid addition to the AHL defense. We had to give up nothing, though, for another team. Siemens is still available, 26.76. He's done growing, so yeah, none of these other guys are worth picking up. And looking at the goalies here that are interested in a 2-way contract, Sandstrom here is 23.76 overall, medium fringe star potential, so he could be like a good signing until maybe one of our picks gets better. Let's see if anything else is better here in terms of overall. So yeah, I think he's the best in terms of like being young and still pretty high overall. So let's try and get him for like $800K for 1 year. That's all I really want to give up for him. Philadelphia, though, has his rights, so they'll probably match. If that happens, we can just try and get somebody else here. Not the end of the world. So we're here, guys, trying to shed a bit of cap, trading Lear to the Anaheim Ducks. Because he's 26, he's considered an NHL player. 78 overall. He's basically just been playing in the AHL the whole time, though. 850K is actually probably enough to sign Josi, assuming we don't have to like pay him more like we had to do with Skinner last year. Getting a 6th round pick back, too, from Anaheim, so hopefully they'll say yes here, and they do. Right here, guys, we're trying to make another trade, trading Jared McCann and Vegetable to Detroit for their 3rd and 5th round picks in this year's draft. McCann's basically just been buried in the AHL the last couple years, and with how much center depth we have, he's never going to break through. 24 years old, rather have like the younger players play in the AHL. And then Vegetable, kind of the same thing as well. He's an RFA right now, and again, we have so much center depth, I don't need him. I'm thinking trading both of them should clear us like hopefully like $1 million between the two. The way the game works isn't how it's supposed to work in real life, so you kind of have to tinker with it to open up cap during the summer because they think some players are NHL, some players are AHL, stuff like that. So if this gets us to the cap to sign Josi and we get a couple picks back, I think it's definitely worth doing. Detroit said yes, so hopefully now we can go sign Roman Josi. So apparently that only gave us $200K in cap space. We now have $7.7 million after trading away 3 players. All 3 were listed as NHL players. So maybe they turn some AHL players into NHL to like fill the holes. I don't know, but I'm gonna give Yossi the max offer I can give him. I'm trying to see if it goes. There we go. It actually does go cheaper. So at 4 years, he's 7.7. He'd only be 34, and we'd be just over. So maybe he'll do that 4-year deal at 7.7. That would be huge. Now, as you guys can see here, some of the unsigned two-way players I made offers to signed with us. So McNeil here accepted. We'll keep advancing the day here, see if anyone else did. Reeves accepted, 74 overall, so he's not too bad. Blunkfist, Stevens, Sandstrom rejected. He stayed with Philly, so we got to find another AHL starter, as well we also need a backup. Larson rejected, decided to go with Anaheim. That sucks. I gave him like 100K more than he wanted, I thought, too. So we'll keep going here, see what Yossi says. Decided to sign with your team, but no longer have the cap space? What? Okay, we got to make sure we rectify that really quick. All those players we signed were two-way players. Oh, we lost 50K. Okay, hopefully we'll give them the offer again. 7.7 for 4 years. Hopefully it goes through. Hopefully like no random player takes 50K away from our salary cap. So dumb. You should be able to sign like whatever you want as long as you're good to go by like the beginning of the season, how it is in the real NHL. So you can make trades after signing and stuff like that. And then if not, I think like I'm not sure what the real NHL rule is, but there we go. Roman Josi accepted. So that is a huge signing. So we added an 88 overall left-wing sniper out of the draft, second overall pick, and then Roman Josi, 90 overall defenseman. We added both those players for free, essentially. Our team is going to be stacked. Right here, guys, I'm signing Yevinen to be our AHL starting goalie. 25, 77 overall. Not a lot of potential, but basically just kind of like a bridge deal here for him until we can have like one of our younger guys take over. He wants 900K. We only have 725K, but maybe he'll say yes. So all we have left to sign, guys, is a backup goalie in the NHL as well as an AHL starter. Unfortunately, all we have is 725K in cap space. Could clear some of that up with a trade, or we could just sim to the end of the summer and hope somebody's available. So I'm going to do that, obviously, rather than give somebody up. I'm hoping at least one of Domingue, Gillies, and Nielsen will be available to be the backup goalie in the NHL. And then for the AHL, there's a good amount of guys that could start for the AHL. And even if we don't get one of them, it's the AHL team. I don't care. So we'll do that and hopefully sign a good backup goalie. So right here, guys, we're looking at our owner goals for next year. Primary goal, to win the Stanley Cup. That is a big goal there, but it'll pay 100K in bonuses if we do. Secondary goal, again, beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in our first meeting. And then the other secondary goal is to sell 85% of the available season tickets, which I think we almost did this year. We might have. It was like around 84%, I think, when it popped up. So I think all three goals are very doable. Obviously, the Stanley Cup one's a tough one, but let's try and get it done. So now that we're at the end of this summer, I can sign a backup goalie. Unfortunately, the only one available here is Condon. The 381s are all gone, but he's really cheap, wants 775K. We probably could have signed him earlier, but obviously we were holding out for one of the 81s. I'll just give him like 700K a year for 1 year on a two-way deal. Also, we need to get an AHL starter. We'll go with this Yovinen guy, 25, 77. He looks pretty solid. He wants 850K for 1 year. So our AHL goalie will get paid more than the NHL backup, but whatever. Also, I guess I could check the trade block too and see if there's any like cheap backups out there. So the Flyers have this Sodstrom guy available, 81 overall goalie. He'd be a pretty solid backup, and he's pretty young too, 22 years old, low fringe star potential. So he could be the backup for a while until like Fucali gets old or if one of our younger guys passes him. So we'll see if we can make a deal for him. So here's the offer I'm making them for the backup goalie, giving them our 3rd round pick in this year's draft. We also have another, I think it's Detroit's, as well as this Brisebois prospect, 7th D potential, which isn't that great. Obviously, a young backup goalie would honestly be very good for us. We'll see if they say yes, and they did. Now, as you guys can see, Yevinen accepted our offer, so he'll be a solid AHL starter. I'm guessing Condon will also accept our offer. He'll just be like the 3rd string goalie. No reason to even play him in the NHL. Oh no, he rejected our offer. We have a full roster. Okay, that actually worked out well because I didn't have a spot for him anymore, so that's perfect. So our team's good to go for next year. So here's a look at our lines for next season. I'm actually pumped to see how good we can do. First line here, Skinner, Barkov, and Stan Haynes, the 2nd overall pick from this year's draft. A 90 overall now, hasn't even played his first NHL game. This guy has to win the Calder. I am so pumped to see how good he does. That whole first line's 90s. Second line there, Tatar, Bukestad, Huberdeau. That should be a really solid second line. Third line, Cogliano, Malgin, and Smith. Fourth line there, Nystraddle, Masherin, and Rantanen. Masherin's an 83 now. He was playing in the AHL for all of last year, so good to see some AHL players, come through. Top pair D there is stacked, Yossi and Aaron Ekblad. Second pair there, we have Polka and Johnson. That's a very solid second pair. Even the third pairing, we have Reinhart and Fleury, an 85 in Reinhart, and then a solid, young player in Fleury, 81. He was an 82. Hopefully, he can go back up there playing with Reinhardt, get some good numbers. Goalies here, Fukali. That's probably the weakest spot of our team, an 85 starter, but I mean, I think the rest of our team should be able to make up for that. And then we have a young backup there in Sodstrom, who hopefully can grow and get a better overall. Even the AHL team is stacked. So now on the first line is Matthew Strom. He actually grew a lot over the summer. Went from a 72 to 77, which is huge. He can pass all the guys on the depth chart. Play first line. He's playing with Nolan Patrick, who's still an 82. I'm waiting for his big growth spurt to happen, his big overall spike. Hasn't happened yet though. And someone was saying I need to play him in the NHL. Clearly that's not true. We have AHL players that are jumping him, who've also been playing in the AHL, and they've been playing less minutes than him, so it makes no sense. Marchesu, I always mess up his name, playing on the first line there. He'll be the first to get called up if there's an injury. Second line, we have Zirkles, Howard and Greer. Greer's actually a guy we drafted in 2018, so good to see the pick starting to play. Benson, Dube, and Reeves on the third line, McFarland, Stevens, and Missile on the fourth. So AHL team should honestly have a very good year. Jake Bean still in the AHL, getting better. Westland there's the waiver pickup. Niku, Mikola, Shirikov, Akalas. Not sure where all those guys came from. Akalas has been in the AHL forever. The guy we just signed, Jovanin, our starter, and then Carletto there, we actually had a pretty solid season last year, is the AHL backup. So, like I was saying, I'm pretty pumped for this next season. I think we could have a very, very good season. And, I mean, that 90 overall rookie, I can't wait to see the numbers he puts up. NHL team here, 93 offense, 94 defense, 87 goaltending. And the AHL team has 83 offense, 80 defense, and 80 goaltending. So, pretty pumped, guys. Again, if you want me to, I can ask to relocate. Obviously, I don't know what the owner's going to say. His happiness right now is neutral. His willingness to move is still some. So, happiness has gone down, probably because I'm not even sure why. I think we did about the same this year as last year, but if you want me to ask, I can ask again. I doubt he's going to say yes, though. I think it has to be at probable or high or whatever it would be for us to move. But let me know if I should ask again. Besides that, guys, thanks for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. Have a nice day, guys. Goodbye.